Hey guys, Shane here, Tank Hunter Miniatures, and today we're going over my tournament results, bringing Space Marines once again. I've used this list a lot, I can't lie, but this was for the end of year tournament we had at the local, and there was there's a big prize up for grabs, so I was like, alright, I gotta try and win, I gotta try hard this time, so I thought it'd be good to try out the Space Marines again. Just to see how they're doing, because I know, like, wins-wise for tournaments, they aren't doing too well. I think, yeah, there's some issues there. I mean, a lot of people are playing, just the normal, the base one, where you get go into the doctrines and everything. Yeah, there's not a lot of real creativity I'm seeing with Space Marine lists that I'm seeing brought to tournaments and stuff, but it is what it is. You stick to what works, and yeah, I'm sure something will change down the line. So, but looking at our Ironstorm list, so we got our classic 3 Vindicators, because 3 Vindicators are the best choice of all time. A couple of Whirlwinds, because they're doing pretty good. I don't think people use them as much. I don't think people are using non-Primaris vehicles and stuff enough, and that's why they're a bit of a sleeper. We've got the 1 Tech Marine. He's got the enhancement that lets you fall back and advance until shoot. Really helpful for getting out of situations and stuff. And then this time we've just gone 2 Land Raiders. There's the normal Land Raider with the las cannons, and the Redeemer with the best flamers in the game. So yeah, going into this, 1500 points, let's see how we did. So the first game, we're off against an army that is very similar to one we would be bringing. So we got up against guard tanks, specifically almost all Leman Russes. He's got 2 armored sentinels, and he's got 2 basilisk hiding out behind cover there. Now it isn't a bad list. It's probably not point-wise very smart though. Because he went with 3 tank commanders, which is interesting. So the tank commanders, of course, have the demolisher cannons, they have flamers, I think they have las cannons as well. So that's very costly. Yes, they can support themselves, but the other thing order themselves now, but the other thing you're losing is if, by going tank commander and not just the normal demolisher cannon, you're losing the ability to fire into combat with the demolisher cannon, much like the Vindicator can do. So, and like I said, it's more expensive. So I'm not sure if that was the best choice. And then he's gone with 3 Vanquishers. Now Vanquishers, you'd say, oh, well that's perfect. That's a hard counter to this army. And it is to an extent, except for the fact that Vanquishers are terrible. They are the least reliable tank in the entire game, and they have no ability to really move and be effective anymore. They have to be standing still, sort of like the old Death Strike rules, where your target had to stay there a while, and you had to stand still to get anything off. So it's more, especially in these games where, moving into places is so much more important for winning points. And in this match, because it's a supply drop, so the middle objective and the right objective is going to disappear at rounds 4 and 5. So it's going to be a mad dash to the left-hand side of the board. So he gets turn 1, and we're both basically going on the line. So we thought, ooh, this might be a quick game. I felt, he had the strength there to basically just remove my army fast. So I thought, alright, we're in trouble here now. He's taking a page from my book. But after turn 1, so he's moved up. I think he had some, he had to do some whatchamacallits to get some points. So the Vanquishers stood still, taking shots off at the Land Raiders. Now, Land Raiders, I thought about, instead of getting Land Raiders, getting more Predators or something, but Land Raiders are such good damage sponges that I felt, yeah, that was the right choice, and they did. They withstood. So the Vindicator, one of the Vindicators, they took a Demolisher cannon, so it's gone. That's fair enough. But the Land Raiders are alive, but they're just holding on. But that's all I really need for them to, still be able to do their job. So that was painful, but we come to my turn. So I had to get the center, and I had to get the middle objective, I think. It just revolved around me pushing him back off the center. So yeah, we've managed to take out the 2 tank commanders with demolisher cannons in the center there. I've moved up the Land Raider to take the objective. The Redeemer's just hanging back. I think he did some shots off on one of the Land Raiders. And the Demolisher on the right, so he's managed to do some damage to that one. Didn't finish it off, so I charged him into combat. Now, like I said, the benefit of that, the Vindicator, I can just shoot into combat. It doesn't penalize me. But he's going to have to pull back to really shoot effectively. So I've got him sort of cornered, and I've done the same with the Sentinel on the left there. I pushed him up, gotten into combat, as well as shooting off some damage. So the next turn, I think this is after... Yeah, this is after both of our turns, so I missed one of them. So he managed to shoot back, get rid of the Land Raiders. He pulled a couple of tanks back, just so they could be a bit more effective. So yeah, all of my Land Raiders are gone, but he's lost the Vindicator on the Vanquisher on the left. That's gone. The Vindicator up top, he's taken some damage. We're pretty much, the Basilisk luckily hasn't really done too much to us, and the Vanquisher is now not got a great shot for targets, and the other Sentinel has tied me up in combat as well, which again doesn't really dissuit the Vindicator. It can still do it regardless. So his next turn, he's managed to get rid of that Vindicator. It was right out in the open, but what that's done is that's stalled him. That stalled him to focus on that right-hand side of the board, which I know is not going to be worth holding soon enough. So everything else is hiding nicely. I've got everything sort of in cover pretty well there. So my turn comes, I'm able to remove that last Vanquisher on the right, remove that Sentinel. I've still got the Whirlwind there just to sort of goad him in. It's sort of a deterrent there. And we are now capping the right-hand side. So not a lot from either of us, actually, because we've removed each other's armies incredibly well. So his turn, he's moved everything forward now because he wants to take some shots off in that Whirlwind behind cover there. And he's used the reinforcement strats to bring down the Sentinel to try and take my objective. And then once it got to my turn, we've removed that Sentinel, and we're just holding pretty while capping that left objective, which will soon be worth all the points. That's right, he ended up moving. Yeah, he moved this Sentinel, and I overwatched it with the Whirlwind and blew it up, so that was cool. And at the end of the game, he had the Vanquisher. So all he had left was a Vanquisher, 2 Basilisks, and I had the Vindicator and Whirlwind, both just hiding out and securing the payload. So this gave us a pretty good victory. So it was dangerous, he had the tools to do damage, they just weren't the most efficient ways to use them. Like I said, a Vanquisher is not reliable. It's the highest damage, but that's the thing about something being so high damage. I made that point when talking about some of the Baneblade variants, like with the Volcano Cannon and stuff like that. It's so strong, but it's so strong to the point that it's completely useless because it's overpowered, and the more powerful, the high costed it is, but you don't need it. So having a battle cannon that just reliably can shoot and do damage is so much more effective. So yeah, that gave us the victory. We just managed to scrape by, but yeah, I'm pretty happy. Nice challenging fight. We had a good time with this one. So next matchup was against Death Guard. So this was an interesting one. So we got some cultists, some poxwalkers. Then we got a couple of rhinos full of the Plague Marines, and then we got the Blightlord Terminators with Typhus just hanging out there. And you see the list difference. It's like, oh, he's got not much at all. It looks like we're overwhelming him, but it's a bit of a deceptive trick by Nurgle that they're doing this. So once again, he gets first turn. I got no first turns this entire tournament. That was great. It's kind of better for us, really. So he got turn 1. He pulled into the terrain. He had to sabotage it, and that was basically the only thing he could sabotage that was in the zone there. So he moves everything up. Poxwalkers are there. For this one, it was scouring. So we had to grab the objectives early, because the earlier you can grab them, the earlier you can burn them and deny your opponent the points for holding any objective. So yeah, we both had to go fast and hard for these center objectives. And yeah, and this was a bit of a distance one as well. Yeah, I think if we had gone like lengthways, that might have been even trickier. Then again, would he have enough? Because this one, you can, yeah, with this map, you can really spearhead it. Go straight down the middle, and you're really deadly. If you had to really span it out across the board, it might be a lot trickier. But either way, we get to my turn. We've managed to get rid of the cultists. We've pushed everything back. We blew up one rhino. As you can see, all the Plague Marines came out. That was good for us. And we did some damage to the Blight Drone there. Aside from that, we're pretty good. We're in a good spot. We're about to get on all the objectives, but that kind of comes back to bite us. Because on his next turn, the Plague Marines, they are incredibly strong against armor. Because you pull the Blight Drone, that came in fast, that reduced our toughness, reduced our armor save, and then he's firing in with lethal hits because of the attachments from the Plague Drones. The characters there give them lethal, and they have, you know, AP3, and you're like, oh dear. So they made short work of that Land Raider, and then the Typhus boys came in with the strikes of their big power scythes, and they ripped apart another the Vindicator there. So yeah, straight up, he's taken, you know, that middle and that flank, he's taken it pretty well. So we've just got this left-hand side, but you know, 2 out of 3, that doesn't bode well for me. So yeah, we're currently tied up with some Poxwalkers, but you know, that isn't too big of a deal, because so our next turn, you know, we basically have to pull back. We have to pull out and re-establish what we're doing here. So luckily that other Vindicator wasn't tied up in combat, so he's able to pull back and shoot. We pull the Whirlwind back just so we got some distance, and the Tech Marine is able to let our Land Raider come back and still shoot, so that was good. So we did some more damage to those Poxwalkers. They're toughness 4, they take a bit to get rid of, but we pretty much had to fire everything into the Blight Lords to get them down. They absorbed some damage. I think the first turn, yeah, we put a lot of las cannons. We put all the las cannons. They didn't want to go down. So yeah, we blasted everything. Only Typhus is left now. Just him on his own, and he's still just as dangerous. So that is a bit scary, and yeah, he's still holding the objective. So we're holding the left one. You know, we're really sticking on it, just saying, nope, this is ours. So yeah, he's not really putting pressure on that just yet. So we have, and oh yeah, as you can see up the top, we've managed to wipe out most of the Plague Marines thanks to the whirlwinds and stuff. The Plague Marines are gone, bar just a couple, so that side's weakening a bit. On his turn, that's right, he had to get something in all corners, so he's out there deploying and trying to get points. So this whole match is really close. We're basically even points most of the time. Typhus, when he moved though to quickly secure the bottom right table there, we managed to overwatch and get him down to 1 wound thanks to the Vindicator. It was close, but we didn't quite get him down in Overwatch. So he's moved out as well. He's done a lot of damage to this to the Land Raider down there. Got it down to like 5 wounds. It's hurting. But luckily, he wasn't able to make any charges this turn. It was all like 9-inch charges, and we were, just able to stay away, because I think, yeah, we were discussing this, and if that Land Raider had gone down, if he had made the charges and kept us back, there was no way we would have won this, because he could have just quickly burnt those objectives, and that would have been me done. I couldn't catch up at that point. So then on our turn, we are able to quickly move up, grab the objectives. We managed to ram our tanks into those 2 characters there. Once the characters are separated from the unit, they lose their leading abilities, and we're able to grab the points back and quickly re-establish ourselves. Yeah, most of the damage is gone. The main Plague Marine threat is gone. We've just pretty much left those Plague Drones, because they had flamers. They weren't really that much of a damage for us. I say that, but then he comes down and he kills the Tech Marine. But that's fine. The Tech Marine was burning that objective, but we've already got the 2. We're holding the other 2, so that gives us the max points anyway. We didn't need a 3rd. And yeah, we pretty much tied him up long enough and get enough secondary points. So yeah, now you can see there's a lot more tank focus on this board than the Death Guard. So I'm pretty sure we called it there at turn 4. We sort of mapped it out, and yeah, there was a victory, but it wasn't super strong a victory. It was pretty close in the end, and yeah, there was a couple of things that needed to go right for us, like that turn for us getting rid of the Blight Lords and everything. That had to go perfect, and all our charges, we had to get that to get the things back. So yeah, the end part of the game had to go perfect for us, and it did. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to get any of his charges off, so we were able to keep him at distance and keep the area we needed. So that was a great game, really good. Yeah. So the last game, though, we got Space Marines. We got a big Primaris heavy company here. So as you can see, this was the L-shape detachment, and it's a linchpin. So we just gotta keep something on our home objective and grab the other ones in the board, no limit. So it's a pretty basic one, just go take objectives, do damage, nothing else special. So yeah, as you can see, he's got the Executioner, he's got the Gladiator with the Las Talons, the Multi-Melters, and he's got the other Storm Strike one, the Thunder Strike one, which isn't a bad one. I think that one's better. And he's got a couple of Dreadnoughts there, the Ballistis, and the Close Combat one, and just a big blob of heavy intercessors, just on the objective on his point, just holding his stronghold. And he had, that's right, there's a Chaplain and some Assault Marines inside the repulsor, and there's some that's going to jetpack down. So he's turn 1. He gets the first turn. He comes in. So this was after his turn, and you notice that the repulsor is gone. So, because he managed to deal enough damage, so the Vindicator on the right there, he's only on 3 wounds. We were able to power the Machine Spirit strat, so when his vehicle is reduced to half, you can then immediately fire it. The Vindicator then blew up the repulsor in his turn. So that was, that was a bit, bit bad luck for him. But yeah, we took a lot of damage. The Vindicator managed to tank almost all of it. Pretty much the Dreadnought, the Storm Speeder, the Firestorm, the Servitor, the big gun there up the top. That got it down to 3 wounds, but it wasn't enough to finish it, and it was able to fire back as a reaction, pretty much, leaving them out in the open. So then on our turn, we're able to blow up the Dreadnoughts are now, the Close Combat one. We needed him gone. That was important. The Las Cannons made short work of the Gladiator. He put that on the right flank, like he probably should have thrown that more behind cover. Yeah, because that needs to get close up. That has the same range as about the Vindicator. So it was a bit of a misplace trying to make it flank too far out. So his vehicles are, his dangerous vehicles are now gone. So that's good for us. And we're pressing in on the objectives. We're not quite there yet. And as you can see, the chaplain is now in combat with the Vindicator. So, and he's on his lonesome, so he loses the, I think he's got a +1 to wound, so he loses that. So the Vindicator's pretty safe in combat with him there. The Vindicator up the top manages to get the destruction of that one. He dropped in the Assault Marines up the top there. We did overwatch that with the Whirlwind and took out most of them. He's only got a couple left, and the captain on the with the jetpack there. The Dreadnought then came into close combat, but of course he's just got his feet, so he's not really able to do much damage to the Land Raider there. And the fight goes on between the Vindicator and the Chaplain. My next turn, the Chaplain's gone. The Vindicator down the bottom is taking that point. We're able to shoot off the Dreadnought as well. So all we've got left, we did some shots into the Firestorm there, but managed to live. We pulled the Whirlwind out of combat. I think the Dreadnought, I think the Land Raider just used his flamer on the Assault Marines that were left. His next turn, he pulled out the Heavy Intercessors just to make a final stand, just to come at us for revenge. I think he plinked some wounds off the Land Raider maybe. But then, yeah, we're able to pull the Vindicators up, pull the Land Raider up, and the company was gone. So by turn 3, that was a army removed by the Space Marines. So these guys did amazingly good at taking out Space Marines. This is a very heavy anti-Space Marine, because a Whirlwind, that's 2 flat damage, it's wounding on 2s, and it's AP2. It's going to take out most Space Marine units pretty well. Same with the Flamer. Strength 6, AP2, 2 damage. Yeah, it's a lot of base 2 damage weaponry with this list. So, yeah, we were able to get a pretty clear victory for this match. And it wasn't so much like it was misplayed a bit. Like I said to him, it probably would have been better, like trying to go full spearhead like we saw in the last match. If you just did everything up the center, just instead of spreading things out, just going for one center point and just try and break it that way. I feel that's really what Space Marines do best, just going straight up the middle and just trying to break people like that. Pick a point, pick a direction, and just go for it. But it really depends the army and stuff. But in this case, that might have worked a bit better because we were able to just divide on the flanks and just fold in on it. But yeah, overall, unbeaten. We went 3 for 3, and we got 3rd place, which got us the prize. So we picked up some new Sisters of Battle because I'll be expanding my army at some point. So either way, good results for Space Marines. So they might not be doing so well, but mine are doing really well. Space Marine tanks seem to be doing just as well as they always have. And of course, this is post the nerf, so the Tech Marines, that's why I only bought 1 Tech Marine. Before you had the couple of aura abilities. This one now, they changed that, so it's just pick 1 tank to have that ability. Not every tank within 6 has the lethals and has the fall back and everything. And that's fair. That was too much. So yeah, we had a really good day of this. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. We had some good matches here. So yeah, what can you say about this army? It's still really good. I'll try not to use it too much because of that. It is definitely something that needs to be used in moderation. But there you go. If you're still wondering if Space Marine tanks work and work well, yes, they do. To an extent. It doesn't seem like the Primaris ones do that great, but you've still got hope, you've still got power in the good old Firstborn Land Raiders, and Vindicators. You can still rely on them. They will do the damage. But yeah, thanks for this one. This was the last tournament of the year that we'll be going to. In January, we have CanCon coming up. That's like a big 3-day event or something in Canberra. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a lot more competitive than this one. I think we'll go with Guard for that one. I was sort of thinking about bringing Space Marines, but seeing how it was very clutch in a lot of places because it is an elite army. You know, you don't have a lot of board control. We've been playing some 2K games with Guard lately, and yeah, having the board control that you have with Guard tanks is really good. So I think I need that more than just massive firepower. So yeah, we'll go for Guard. And everyone loves Guard. Everyone loves seeing a bunch of Leman Russes. So that'll be coming up next year. Yeah. Unless something fun happens in December. I won't have another tournament report till then. But just hang around, and thanks for watching. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.